What is up, Cowboy Nation? Dallas fan 1997 here, guys. And today our Dallas Cowboys take on the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football here in the next 2.5 hours. Been an interesting day of football so far. Right now, the Indianapolis Colts are up 13-6 over the Seattle Seahawks. 44-year-old Philip Rivers, man. I've been watching that game, and he actually hasn't looked too bad. Now, he hasn't thrown any passes out there that have been super deep, but he's been efficient, smart with the football. Impressed. The guy is in his mid-40s, and he's out there playing, man. He's actually not playing too bad. Unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles did get a win today over the Las Vegas Raiders. That was kind of expected, though. The Raiders are a bad football team. They are without Geno Smith today. They were playing with a backup, so pretty much expected. But with that being said, I mean, even though Kenny Pickett isn't quite as good as Geno Smith, the fact the Eagles shut out the Raiders today and the Cowboys still gave up 16 points against that same offense for the most part just shows you how bad of a job that Matt Eberflus has done. I don't care what happens this year. Matt Eberflus cannot be the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator going into 2026. Jerry Jones, I don't care if he's your friend. He's not done a good job. To me, he is the worst defensive coordinator in Dallas Cowboys history. With all the talent he's got, and the Cowboys are 6-1, there's no excuse for it. And, even though I've been hard on Dak Prescott on this channel, he's really not been the reason why the Cowboys are 6-1 this year. Most of that goes back to the defense. I mean, Dak has had a handful of bad games, but still, even last game, I criticized Dak, yet he still scored 30 points and did enough to get your team to win. But defense just couldn't stop him. So, anyways, doesn't really matter. All these games and stuff are meaningless unless the Cowboys do what they're supposed to do. Now, Vikings are going to be a tough team. They just came off of a big win over Washington, 31-0. Now, they are 5-8, but they've had some problems this year there at quarterback. And that's kind of been the reason why they've struggled so much this year. They just haven't had consistent quarterback play, and that's really hurt them. But Vikings defense is very, very good. They are a top 10 pass defense in the NFL. That secondary is solid and could pose some problems for Dak Prescott. So here are my keys to this game. Number one, we have to run the football. I think the run game last week with against the Lions with Brian Schottenheimer was the right thing. I think that the game plan was correct. The problem was we had too many turnovers, missed opportunities. George Pickens didn't play well. Dak threw a couple picks trying to force the ball to him, and George Pickens not making those catches. And then you had Jake Ferguson fumbling. Cowboys have got to protect the football today. They can't go out there playing sloppy football like they have the last couple weeks, because even in the wins against Philly and the Raiders and the Chiefs, who are now out of the playoffs, by the way, prayers to Patrick Mahomes, by the way. His knee looked pretty bad. I'm dealing with a left knee injury myself right now, so I can, in some ways, kind of relate to him on that. Cowboys right now, man, they got to run the football. Vikings right now are towards the bottom in terms of their run defense, but they have a really good passing defense. I feel like running the football with Javonte Williams, Malik Davis, and trying to set up the pass, the play action is going to be the key to the Dallas Cowboys' success today. I think Shoddy needs to go in with a very run-heavy game plan, run to set up the play action, kind of like the same as we did last week. I think that that's going to be key in this football game, and I feel like that's going to be number one. Number two, protect the football. I already mentioned it. Cowboys got to play disciplined football. Dak can't go out there, turn the ball over. Jake Ferguson's had a fumbling problem this year. He needs to protect the football. These running backs need to protect the football. Got to play smart, disciplined football. So number one, run the ball to set up the pass. Number two, protect the football is going to be super important. Number three is maximizing your opportunities in the red zone. Red zone's going to be important. I think Shoddy did a good job last week in the red zone finally, even though we, failed a few times. I feel like he did a good enough job to get it done, and we ran the ball a lot more. I think the Cowboys need to continue to do that and just have better red zone play calling. And finally is minimize the penalties. Getting out there, getting false starts and illegal procedures stalls drives. And when you do that, it's hard to win football games. So Keys to the offense for the Cowboys are going to be running the ball to set up the pass. Number 2, protecting the football, aka not turning it over. Number 3, scoring and maximizing points in the red zone. And number 4, minimizing the penalties. If the Cowboys can do those 4 things, we got a chance on offense. Now, finally, defense. Vikings do have a pretty good offense. Now, J.J. McCarthy, up until last game, has been kind of struggling this year when it comes to passing. I feel like for the Cowboys, we need to, number 1, get pressure on J.J. McCarthy, force him into mistakes. I said it last week. When we got pressure on Goff last week, even though we didn't do it a whole lot, he made mistakes. He threw some bad passes. We need to do that today against J.J. McCarthy. We need to force J.J. McCarthy into uncomfortable situations to where he's going to have to force the ball. And if we do that, we can get some turnovers off of him. So number 1, the pass rush has to get home to J.J. McCarthy, get pressure on him. Number 2 is going to be stopping that run game. Now, Vikings, Jordan Mason's kind of had an up and down season. You know, hasn't been great, really, but he's still got some talent. I feel like that Kenny Clark, Osa Odighizuwa, Quinnen Williams, those guys got to step up today. They got to not only get pressure up the middle, like I was saying earlier, but they need to stop the run. We need to be aggressive. We need to hold our contain. We need to do a lot more blitzing, and we need to find a way to stop that run game is the number 2 thing. Number 3 thing, minimizing the penalties. The Dallas Cowboys, again, defensively, same thing. You have to stay disciplined on the defensive side of the ball. You cannot go out there and get stupid penalties that gives the Vikings golden opportunities. The Cowboys have got to stay disciplined on the defensive side of the ball, just like the offensive side of the ball. And so those are my 3 keys on defense. Getting after J.J. McCarthy with blitzes. Matt Eberflus, you've been too bland this year. You need to start blitzing. You need to start going after the quarterback. This is absolutely ridiculous, Matt Eberflus. I'm tired of you not using DeMarvion Overshown and the players we got the right way. You need to get after J.J. McCarthy and stop being so freaking conservative and actually blitz. Actually blitz. You need to start blitzing, Matt Eberflus. None of this BS zone bull crap anymore. More man, more blitzing, getting after the quarterback. Number 1. Number 2, stopping that run game by bringing up a linebacker and stop playing Kenneth Murray so much. Logan Wilson needs to get more playing time, and that's a mistake that you've made. I don't care if Kenneth Murray's your boy. Put in the best player. Logan Wilson's a better player. But if the Cowboys can get after J.J. McCarthy and force him into mistakes, number 1, if they can stop the run, number 2, and minimize the amount of penalties they get, we have a chance in this game. But the Cowboys are going to have to do these things defensively. Get after J.J. McCarthy and force him into mistakes. Blitz him. Stop the run game. Play more Logan Wilson and less Kenneth Murray. Use Overshown on the blitz. And minimize the penalties. If we can do those 3 things, we have a chance. But Matt Eberflus has to do a better job. I've been saying I sound like a broken record. And I don't have faith that he's going to be able to do it. But he needs to do it better than what he's been doing it. There's no excuses. Cowboys, if we can do those things defensively, we have a chance. Offensively, as long as we can run the football, protect the ball, score inside the red zone, minimize the penalties, we have a chance. We have a chance. But the Cowboys have to show up tonight. They have to show up tonight, Fan Nation. That's all I got for you guys. We're going to see how it plays out. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.